Welcome back to the Troubleshooting Life podcast. I'm your host, Jay Peters, my co-host, Craig Poston, where we talk about various topics, sharing our experiences on life and finances.
What's up, man?
What is going on?
Not much, man. Another week.
We're back at it. It's been a couple of weeks, actually. We're just releasing some of the archive, or what I call in the vault.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Just to let everyone know, that's exactly what's going on. So if it sounds inconsistent about dates and everything and 4 months,
what's it called? Life events and
because I think I don't even remember exactly what the last one, which was Life's a Beast. I'm here to tame it. It's been so long since I got a chance to listen to the whole thing, so.
Yeah. I think that one was either November or September. That was last year.
So. Yeah, but we wanted to make sure we didn't miss anything with keeping our consistency of putting out different episodes. We just didn't want to get behind on that, to at least bring you something. We still have more in the vault, just has to be cleaned up also. Yeah, but if we have to do this again, because obviously annual training is coming up at some point in time. So we'll probably end up having more, or we'll end up doing some extras on certain days that we kind of do more blabbing. So so it was a little bit of promotion that we were doing for our show, Troubleshooting Life. So remember I told you I was going on the radio show. That's the internet radio show. So it's Rodriguez Radio, which he has on Tuesdays, 7 p.m. on AMP, if anyone like to listen during that time. He has good music on there, and what we did, our theme was like Southern music, Southern rap, Southern R&B, stuff like that. So we had a good time on that, and it gave me slots so I can keep talking about the things that we do, and the things that we have in the future coming.
What's up? Yeah, and if you get the link out, we'll put it in the description so people can check it out.
Oh, hell yeah. Also, he was like, bring you on next time. So we could do it together.
Well, when did you say it was, though?
It's Tuesday at 7 p.m.
Central?
Yeah, Central for us. We're in Texas, yes.
Yeah. And speaking of Central, man, that daylight savings thing messed me up.
Yeah.
Dude, especially on a trail weekend.
Yeah. We had somebody else too oversleep. He's he likes to wake up natural, so no alarm clock.
No alarm, dude.
Yeah, and
I feel it.
Yeah, so he missed, and I thought about him too, and I was like, man, I should call him. And I was like, no, he probably got it this time. Yeah, because he's a responsible guy. So I was like, no, he got it. Yeah, next thing you know, send a message. Oh, I'll be in late. Yeah, kind of figured. Yeah, which is good because some days I actually wake up natural. So if I get up at 5:30 in the morning, sometimes I naturally just wake up without having to use an alarm clock, which I enjoy because now I'm not awakened with a loud alarm. Yeah.
For me, so I did it at 5:30 as well in the morning, but sometimes I'll be waking up 4:30, 4:15, just natural, just because depending on what time I go to sleep. Because I typically try to have an alarm or reminder to go to sleep.
Yeah.
By a specific time, just so I can get a decent amount of sleep. Because now that I don't have to go through my master's, I don't have to do extra work at night and stuff. To keep myself up, then I can actually go to sleep at a decent time and wake up at a time that I want to wake up, so that I can get everything done in the morning. And honestly, I don't think 5:30 is too bad. I think 5:30 is a good time. It's it's not too early. It's just early enough, because at 5:30 there's not too many people out and around on the streets and stuff. So if you want to go somewhere, go to the gym real quick or go to work at that time, it's not too bad. And then, or if you just kind of want to give yourself time, depending on what time, say if you're a regular 9 to 5 person, if you wake up at 5:30, that's 3.5 hours that you can have to yourself to kind of just get everything done, or kind of get your mind right. And so, because I typically I'll wake up at 5:30, but I'll take 30 minutes to kind of or 15 to 30 minutes to kind of get my mind right. As I'm just trying to make sure I'm focusing on what I need to do for the day, make sure I know I need to go work out, I need to go to work. When I'm at work, what I have to do to call it a good day of work. And then stuff like meals for the day, whatever it is, right? That I kind of just have on my mind, or stuff to do for the day.
Yeah. No, because I definitely like to wake up at enough time where I can it's like getting your bearing, right? Like everything's coming in, like, because I hate when you wake up and you're all in a hurry. You wake up from the long and you're in a hurry. You still hadn't got your thoughts together, so then you leave and stuff, but like giving yourself enough time everything just comes to, and you're like, all right, so like, we're gonna have a good day. Regardless of how your day turns out, you're still gonna have a good day, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of the most important thing. Is like when you first wake up, it's like that's how you're exposing yourself for the day. And but like one of my things is like, even if I don't know, I've never like woken up bad. Like maybe if I was like forced to wake up, like if someone else woke me up other than like my own alarm waking me up, maybe it would have been bad. As in like it was unexpected. I didn't really want to probably do something right afterwards. Like especially when you're like active duty, or you're like you got something like they have stuff for you to do like early in the morning. Like I used to hate early morning PT. Like we'd have to go out there like 4:30, 5 o'clock. I'm like why are we out here? Like I work out by myself. Like I'm sorry that these other people don't work out, but they need to go do some work. Like I'm doing work, they can go do work as well.
Well, the crazy thing is I missed that, right? Like so
crazy.
So I say that I didn't want that, and then when I don't have it, that's when I miss it, because like we show up together, get ready to do PT, and you know how you motivate each other. If somebody is running, like you're running, and then they're behind, and you're like motivating them, hey, keep up, hey, get up there, hey, and then the same as like how if you're running relay races, or you do like a hits type of
circuit work.
So like you motivate each other because you're sucking together. So right, you're like, all right.
No, I'm getting up. Because I realize I'm sucking because they suck. So I'm not trying to suck one of them. Like
you just hadn't had the right workout, right?
I will say like some of them are pretty good, but I don't mind doing like group PT. I actually enjoy group PT a lot, because I think it like you said, the sucking together kind of this sounds weird, but but the all together side where everyone kind of going to get similar pain and stuff. I like it more because the natural competitiveness that kind of builds into it, as in like say if you're doing like hill sprints or something, it's like a group of you like trying to get up there, and like say like the first one up there gets to rest for the next sprint or something like that. And I used to love those competition based ones, because I'm not a highly competitive person, but I remember like in active duty we would do like a lot of competitions for PT, as in like if you finish within like the top 3 people, you could leave PT like early, and I'm like, all right, bet. Because now you're incentivizing the people that have actually already done the work and that can excel past the others, where the others, they either haven't done the work or they're not putting in the work, so they have to continue to put in more work. And what was crazy is that like I would do that, like we would do those, and I would just go work out anyways. Like not necessarily with them or what they were doing, but like I would still go work out in the gym because I was there, and it was just time to go to the gym. So
and that's another thing too. Like just getting up, going to the gym, that does keep you motivated regardless of like.
That's what I did. That's the first thing I do is like after getting my mind right, I just go straight to the gym.
Yeah, because once you're there, you're like, I can't just go lift a little something and then play around and leave. Like you end up putting in work. That's how it ends up going for me. Like I might hit up the elliptical to get the blood flowing, and then after that, start hitting the weights, unless it's an all cardio day, it's all cardio day, then I'll do more on cardio side. Cause sometimes, you gotta, protect the legs, cause if you constantly run and if you're not, I guess, built your body up for running constantly, you can hurt yourself. So then what I'll do is I'll substitute elliptical biking, something like that in between, save those joints, so you can they'll last longer.
That's a real big thing, especially for like a lot of people that are like ultra runners or marathon runners, where they'll notice like their legs or joints or knees can give out a lot quicker. That's why like supplementing with like a bike or something is really good. That's why I think a lot of people go towards like cycling after being like a high cardio runner or like a high performance runner.
I got what you're saying. I don't know, one day I would like to train for like the triathlon. Maybe like a smaller one though, not like a big one, where you get a run in and then cycling in and then swimming. So
did you ever do like a mud run or like a mudder?
I did one. I can't remember what the actual name of it, but it was one here in San Antonio, and I actually did one. And
I've seen it. Because I went there too. But you have the shirt for it. It was the one over in Floresville, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, the one with the monkey on it.
Yeah.
I gotta go. Yeah, it was a fun run or a mud run. It was something.
Yeah.
Because I had the same shirt. I remember seeing you with the shirt on. And I was like, man, I'd definitely been there, and I had that as like a workout shirt.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot to mention it to you.
Yeah. No. So yeah, we did that while I was on active duty. It was with us. They were just doing something, and it wasn't bad. The only thing is like afterwards, because I had on what you call them, not leggings. What do you call them? Tights? Yeah, or whatever you want to call them. Like
compressions.
Compressions on. Yeah. And when I got done, the mud was like
soaked into.
Yeah, and it hardened, and like as I had to peel it off of me.
Yeah.
Like because that's all the mud. Yeah. But it was fun though.
I remember that one. That one was good because that was back in like 2019, I think, 2018. Something like that.
Yeah, it might have been 19 because it was before I left active duty. So like,
yeah, it was 2019 because I remember we went out because Adrian was there with me too. And what she did is she volunteered and she was working the thing, and then which allowed them to do like a free race and something else, and it was like free parking. But it was like me and a bunch of guys from work, from my old job, and it was fun. Like it was really cool. I couldn't do like a lot of there was one part where like I like ripped my hands open, because it was like, I can't remember, it was like the monkey bars, like one of the ropes, but like you just like, you like cut up in my hand. So like, there's parts where you had to grab things after that. And I was like, crap, I can't, cause like my hands just like bleed.
Yeah. No, it was actually pretty cool though. Like, and then it was like
just you or a group of people?
No, it was a group of us. And then like, it's like, I guess it was this pond. They sectioned it off where you go through this pond.
Yeah. And you're carrying the weight, right?
I don't know if I was carrying a weight. I don't know what the hell. I can't remember now. I think that's where I ended up getting so muddy, was going through that because everybody was going through it. And I actually know it was another part that was muddy because I think we had to go under something. And yeah. So like, but it was fun though. That was definitely a good morale builder right there.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else we the different things, because just like how you said that holding, I think it might have been like you had to get across, but it's like these bars or something like that.
They had that. They had like a rope. They had a rope wall near the end.
Yeah.
I think near the beginning they have like the hills of like dirt where you like, of course you have to go down, but they got pretty steep as you went.
Yeah, you run up. Yeah.
And then they would have like platforms and stuff that you'd have to keep going up towards.
Yeah, I just kind of kept a pace going. I wasn't trying to like charge the hill. I was just like, I just kept a little running, little jogging, and trying to keep it going. Yeah, but that was pretty fun for my first one of those. We had somebody else. He was a CW3, and he was starting to go to a lot of those type of events where he was trying to gain all the medals, because like you could put the medals together at the end. This was like, I think these might have been the actual Tough Mudders or something.
Yeah, Tough Mudders or Spartan races.
Spartan races, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, Spartan races. Because then once you do all the big races, you can put the medals together, and they, I guess,
like a puzzle or something.
Yeah. I think that's how it worked. Yeah. But that was pretty cool. That he was doing that.
I like those because it doesn't feel like very cardio intensive. And like there's a lot of like different activities you got to do.
Yeah.
I think one of them, like you got to like pull a tire or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a decent amount of those.
No, it's just it's funny that we have stuff like that, but then I was like active duty when I was at Fort Bragg, and like literally they'll form something just like that. Like I think
sucks.
I think we called it one was like a Renegade Challenge, because that was the company that we're a part of, or that's the name. Everyone gives their company an actual name or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other one was they call it a SAR. SAW challenge, and basically it's a sapper, athlete, warrior. Yeah. So like those, man, I was like, man, it's an 8-mile ruck march, and in between you do all these different obstacles. So like they become really long, and then you so you have the different companies there, but everyone starts at a different time. And so I think we started at midnight. I don't think we finished about 1500 the next day. And it was so like between the all the different obstacles, and some things you had to wait to do, because once everybody end up coming to an area, and that's where you can get your rest in, when it's like everyone ends up in one area. And it was another one too where we had to lift these boulders
Mm.
and put them on top of, I can't remember the hell what the hell we got to put these, but we had to pick these boulders up and put them on top of that. But you do it by self, and then
Yeah, it's an Atlas carry.
yeah, and it was some of those things. I think they weighed like an engine or like a transmission. It was like pretty damn heavy.
That's one of the strongman competitions. Is
Yeah.
an Atlas carrier, an Atlas.
Yeah. So no, it was really good. I mean, now that I think about it, at the time it probably was sucking, but yeah, like now thinking about it, I was like, yeah, what's the chances of me doing stuff like that, you know, on a regular basis, you know, like without paying for it, you know, like
True. But like, I mean, one of the biggest things is mandatory fun. That's never fun. So
Yeah, that's basically what it was. It was a way that the unit can, I guess this is how the battalion commander was ensuring that his unit was in good shape, and then we're having fun at the same time. So like you do things to help train, but then it's fun. Like just like I'll mention to people about the shoot house, yeah, where you go in, it's close quarters, and they show you a letter and a number, but you have to hit these as you go through. So you got your M4, and you got to make sure you hit these letters and numbers as you go through, and you know, to win at that competition, whatever. Yeah. So you know, stuff like that was cool. But besides, you know, when you think about the glory days there, my goals,
glorious days.
Goals, man. For me, I haven't really set out to have any small goals. I'm repeating last year's goals in a sense, right? Because I want to kind of like keep building on this one, where how I'm trying to save money and trying to buy property, you know what I'm saying, trying to build on my main goal of what I want to do, and that's to gain more assets. And then, and also it put me in that mindset of like just, you know, buying assets over, I guess, in a consumer type products, right? And recently, I bought a vehicle. It definitely was not an expensive vehicle, but I bought one. But it's because I was already looking at my other car, and I was like, just right now, it's in the garage, and I still hadn't finished working on it because it needs control arms on it, upper and lower control arms, and I changed the brake pads because that was another issue, and then I changed
the wagon.
No, not the wagon. The wagon is what I bought, which is slightly it's not even new. It's just it's a car. It's a 2014. Yeah. But it's a fun project, but it's also a family car, so that's why I picked it. But no, my normal everyday car, man, like the Fusion, like so like that one, it's gotten to a point where things are starting to fail on it, and I gotta fix it. So so how old is the Fusion? It's a 2010. Yeah, like now the suspension parts are starting to fail on it, so I'm like, all right, I gotta get in here and replace this stuff. And you know, it's more of a daily driver. It's still a strong car. It's just it requires a little work right now. Yeah, that's all. Yeah, so I mean that's really my goals, and I try to, like I said, if I'm gonna buy something that's a consumer product, I put a lot of thought into it. Only reason why I bought that car, the 2014, it was because I knew I was gonna need a family car. I also wanted the dog to be in the car if we wanted to go somewhere, and you know, it's just, and it was something I could make it into a project at the same time. Yeah, and so that's why I picked that. But then you know, all the other things, I'm trying to make sure I keep my mindset to assets, and if I can build on assets each year, even if I have to go as slow as each year, at least I'm moving a step forward, right? Yeah. So that's how I look at my goals as of right now. Just a kind of repeat of last year, and try to get better at making that a more, I guess, a hard target where I'm actually hitting it instead of like just saying I'm doing it, you know?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that. At least growing on your current goals, because there's gonna be like those overarching goals for like life. Yeah. Like, what do I see myself doing? What do I see myself having? What do I see myself or my family doing in the future, or being like, so like your yearly goals could still be milestones in the overarching life goal.
You're doing any what are your goals, man, right now?
Goals right now, dude, I really don't have too many goals. So it's tax time has already come in and still going. I still gotta go through those, because I've always been terrible about like not necessarily capturing. Okay, no, that's definitely the part that I'm bad at is capturing the expenses. Accumulating expenses, I have not been bad at. Yeah, that's all I do is accumulate the expenses. Yeah, but I have like a good tracker, and so it's just making sure that now that I have multiple properties, I totally like blanked on. Like, so for example, if I go to Lowe's for something, I didn't annotate what it was for or which property it was for. I can kind of guesstimate like based on the time frame it was and like probably the amount. And if I look back at like my transactions, I'm sure I could figure it out. But that's just like those specific things I have to figure out right now. Is, you know, what I spent and what can be counted against the income. So, but yeah, trying to hopefully knock that out this weekend or next, just so I can get all that submitted to my CPA and see how that comes out. Other than that, and I can't remember when the last time we recorded or if there was a good time we recorded, but a couple times ago I talked about like how I had to go through a tenant and basically evict them from the place because they, you know, weren't able to pay for the place. So I was able to get that all figured out. And then I was able to get tenants into the place now, and I ended up going through so much what I use for my single family property, or what I used when I first bought my first property, is I got roommates. So, you know, there's roommates in that unit. Jen, yeah, I was kind of going through a few different things, like mentally as in what I was trying to calculate as in profitability wise, and certain things of control. And it was more timeline wise that kind of came down to roommates or just fully tenanted out. And I had both options out there, and I actually had people for both, as in I had people that were signing up for roommates and people that were signing up just to rent out the entire place. And it was a lot of back and forth, but I just decided to do the roommate thing, and it seems to be working right now. So, but we'll see how it continues to go on.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good update though. Yeah, you're getting it resolved.
Yeah.
It's
a lot of pain, but yeah.
I mean, but you learned something.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, but that's all what life is about, right? I mean, we take the experiences that we have, we learn from them. Yeah. If you didn't learn from them, then that's the problem, right? You're just going to keep repeating the same thing over and over again. But then now that you know this, you know a way to protect yourself to keep that from happening again.
Yeah.
But I mean,
you are the problem.
hey, that's a better way. Like, okay, all right. Well, if I'm the problem, how can I solve it? Right?
Yeah.
Like,
there you go. Man, I get every type of thing.
How can I keep from running to the same wall or stomping my foot on the same chair every time? You know, like
banging my head against the same wall.
Yeah. Yeah, but so that's good to hear that you're getting that straightened out and coming up with good ideas for it.
Yeah. How's the house you got in Mississippi?
Oh, it's doing okay. It's turned over to a property manager. They actually, I don't know if I showed you pictures or anything like that, but like they actually did really good with straightening that out, because I thought I was gonna have to spend a lot of money trying to renovate a kitchen, and then they came up with this quick idea of like painting the cabinets. I think that's what they did, because they look good, and then they also turned the knobs the correct way, the handles the correct way, because they were slanted. I didn't understand why they did this. So and then whoever had it before, they did that to all the cabinets throughout the house, the bathroom, everything. And the property manager went through, they painted the fireplace. They straightened out some things on the wall. They actually put a backsplash in the kitchen. I was like, man, like I was looking at Lowe's, and Lowe's was getting expensive. And it was like $15,000 for Lowe's.
Yeah.
These people did this. They corrected the issue with its gas line, and did the painting and straightened out things in different areas of the house, and it cost me $3,000.
Wow, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so that lets you know about getting the experience of other people who know how to handle these things.
Yeah.
And that was one reason to go with a property manager versus like doing everything by myself. It's more than one reason. One, I want to get another property, so that requires me to already start putting this one up for rent. So, and they were able to get that going for me a lot quicker. Or I would have been still at a standstill trying to figure out, okay, who can I hire to do this? Who can I, and instead they found somebody to do all of it in one time go. So,
that's really cool.
Yeah. So, but it's one of the things that I'm learning, right? It's try to utilize the resources that you have available. Even when I'm like reading a book, like I was telling you about the long distance real estate. Yeah, David Greenwood. Yeah. Basically, that was one of the things he was talking about, is like leveraging the people who are already in the area, the market that you're trying to go into or that you're in, to help you make better decisions. And that was like I was like, dang. One thing he talked about, and that was it. And it was just now. With this is learning how to hire property managers for any other property I want to do. Like understanding the right questions to ask them, so I know that they know how to do quick turnarounds. They know how to get in there and get the contractor to do the work, so we can in 30 days get the house on the market, so we can get it rented out. stuff like that. So, but now I know what to ask, and I know how to be a little bit more serious or deliberate. Here it is, more deliberate about what I'm looking for when I'm trying to get a property manager.
Yeah. No, that's good, man. That's really good.
Yeah. Because like right now, I don't like I was calling the guy, but I know it's during spring break, but it doesn't really matter, right? There's a business is a business, so I'm calling and leaving messages, and I hadn't heard anything yet, and I'm like, okay, all right, and I know it's only been a week, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm trying to. That's what I'm saying. I'm learning what to ask a property manager, understand if they're very communicative, because a lot of what I've from reading a book, not all property managers they like to communicate a lot, right? Yeah. They want the owner to go away and let them handle everything. And you have to look out for that and see, because if you want a property manager to kind of give you more responses, in between, tell me, hey, where are you at this? Where are you at that? Then you need to ask those questions at the beginning. If not, you're going to get the property manager that's going to just do everything for you, send you the bill and tell you, hey, I'll talk to you when I get a chance to talk to you, but if you want something more, then you need to voice it before you sign the contract with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that's good lesson learned.
Yeah. So that's something. That's what I was saying. Learning what questions to ask a property manager. But so far that's what I got going on, and still trying to make time to read throughout busy days at work and stuff like that.
I'm gonna convert to audiobooks at some point, bro.
I know, but I do like them, but it's just something about holding the book and reading it, and and then like man, like
no, it don't hit the same. I promise.
Yeah.
Well, not worth the feeling.
Yeah. Well, so our topic, man, we got no such thing as a life better than yours.
Yeah. So I got that one. Pulled that from J. Cole. I definitely listened to J. Cole for a long time now, but one of the songs called Love Yourz, it's like part of the lyrics that there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours.
Yeah.
And, that one hit like pretty good. I mean, it's a pretty old song. It's not like a new song or a new track, but there was definitely parts of life where I've thought the opposite, as in life could totally be better than what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
Especially when you're broke and you don't have money, you can't really feed yourself, barely paying rents and utilities. There's definitely a lot of those thoughts that kind of go through your mind. But yeah, no. So there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. And I remember when I had the opportunity to speak at my college graduation, I was going to use that in there. But funny story is that I only read I think a third, or maybe half of my speech, because people started clapping, and then I just started walked away from the podium. And it was funny because I didn't finish it, and that was going to be part of it. Is that one of my takeaways from life? Because during that time of going through school, that's when I was really struggling. As in, like I said, I was having a hard time paying for rent and all the other stuff. On top of that, I was going to school at night, but I ended up figuring it out 6 months or a year into it, by getting a better paying job, of course, working in the field, getting certifications, continuously working. And actually around the time that I graduated was when I joined Novetta, now AFS, but was around the time I joined Novetta. And I kind of embraced that, there's no such thing as a life that's better than yours. As in, you may look at other people's lives and you may think it's greener on their side for whatever reason, maybe because they have stuff where they don't have to have certain worries that you do. But in all reality, your life is yours.
Yeah.
It's the only one you got. And in my opinion, there isn't anything better than your life. Don't try to reminisce in other people's lives. Make yours just better.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And I guess it can go along the lines of, what do you call it? What is that? The Joneses? What is that? Keeping up with the
Keeping Up with the Joneses.
Yeah. So in a sense, that's kind of the same thing. If you're looking at someone else's life and not looking at yours, and in a sense, you're trying to keep up with somebody else's life, not yours. And I don't really have an issue with that at all, because I kind of just try to do my own thing. Just like even how I bought that wagon, not a lot of people are gonna buy a wagon.
2014 wagon.
Yeah, because that's not a American style thing to do.
No, it's not flashy. It's not.
Yeah. So I went with something like that where I can have fun with it instead. I mean, the other thing of not falling into that trap is like, I think you have it in here. It's like you're trying to be, what's that, grateful for the things that you do have, right? Or show appreciation for the things that you do have, because that's one of the points you made on this one. But I guess if that's so practicing mindfulness, right? That's, that would be one of those things. So how you have it here is like mindfulness is the practice of being present in the moment and fully engaged in what you are doing. So I guess just being aware, right? That's pretty much how this definition is really is being aware of like what are you doing and where are you going, or just understanding what do you really want? Do you want somebody else's life, or do you want your own life, right? Do you want to be like, because in the end of the day, when a person is going for a certain thing, that's the thing that they think is going to make them happy. So if you're trying to follow their path and they don't even know if that's going to make them happy, what does that do for you, right? So you could be chasing a fake goal that somebody's doing. So like, in a sense, I do like that, where it's, you understand that there's no life better than yours. Before I miss it, I think you had another point in here also, where like learn to appreciate the small things in life and not take anything for granted. That's a big one right there. But how do you look at that one?
So appreciating those small things. I'm one of those people, I never wanted to do like the keep up with the Joneses type thing. I've always wanted to kind of just do my own stuff and figure it out. But I've also like never looked at someone's life, or I can't say never, I'm sure I have before. But as I've like kind of grown as a person, I don't look at someone's life and say, hey, I wish I had that. Yeah. Because I try to, so my biggest thing is gratitude, first and foremost. I'm grateful that, I have a roof over my head, grateful that I don't worry about food, about the necessities we have in life. Grateful that, I have certain opportunities that maybe a lot of people don't. Even something as simple as like joining the military. A lot of people would like, well, everyone can join the military. Well, that's not true. Not everyone can join the military. And I promise you, there's people out there that would love to be able to join the military just to get out of the situation they're in, and they can't, right? Just entertaining those small things. Just be glad that you woke up in the morning. Yeah. Right? And one of my biggest things, though, like for those that have seen me, I have like a scar on the back of my head. Right. I know when I was not necessarily younger, like it probably was a couple of years ago, I would wake up and the first thing I would do would be touch the scar. Right. And the reason why is because, there was a point where I necessarily wasn't supposed to be here. Right. Like I have a scar because like, and the story behind it is that, when I was born or before I was born, my lungs were filling up with fluid. Right. So they had to do a procedure while I was still in the womb, and they were able to take the lung or the fluid out of my lungs. But as they were pulling out the tool, it scratched the back of my head, and that's why I have the scar. And a lot of people could say that, those doctors suck, they could have done a better job. And I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm still alive. Yeah. Right? I'm here. So what they did worked, and I'm not going to like discount them or disrespect them for doing that. Could they have done a better job? Yeah, maybe. But who cares? That wasn't the point. They did, probably the best they could, and that's just about it. So that's where like a lot of my gratitude comes from. Is just, there's a point where I probably couldn't have been here. So, and then the little things, like it's just small things. Like I remember, so when I was broke, one of the only things I could really afford was like eggs and stuff, because like it's very cheap, but it's like a decent amount of protein in it. So for people that want to prioritize protein other than like milk and stuff, eggs are pretty cheap to get. Probably not nowadays. Like it's getting pretty expensive out there for some eggs. But no, yeah. So like, what I would do is I did like a 5 dozen thing of eggs, and that's a lot of eggs. That's 60 eggs, just to pick up. So I'd get the 5 dozen eggs, and that's basically all we would eat, were like eggs and bread or eggs and tortillas and stuff like that. So what I would do, even if I had money, I would still go and buy the 5 dozen eggs, and I would just make it as like a reminder to myself that, you weren't always here. Like you didn't always have money. You didn't always have wealth. You didn't have all the things you have now. So just kind of, remind yourself that it could go away. It's possible. So, yeah. Yeah, man. You never really told me the story too about, the scar. Honestly, I thought you was just like kind of the rest of us, badass kids, and it must your head somewhere. Because honestly, that's how I got my scar in my head. It's kind of hard to see because my hair grows over it, but like I ran into a wall as a kid. So I kind of thought it was the same thing. But yeah, they hear that. That's I got the stories too. I remember one time I was so I don't know if you ever been to like like old parking lots where they didn't have the cement things, they had chains. like kind of block off the areas. And I thought, I could float on the chain. And so I just like sat on the chain, picked my feet up and knocked myself out because it was on gravel right there or whatever the rocks were right there. So yeah, that was a good little experience too.
Yeah. That experience you don't want to have again. Yeah. But no, that's.
Hey everyone, quick interruption. I just wanted to say from both Craig and I, thank you for taking the time to listen to us and our random rambling about life. If you have enjoyed this and think even one other person will enjoy this, then please share out this link, whether you found us on YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or any other platform. It costs no money and little time, but would have a great positive impact for our podcast and brand. All right, enough with the shameless plug. Let's get back to the podcast.
All right. Yeah. So the next thing is cultivating gratitude. And what you got down here is cultivate gratitude involves being thankful for what you have and the little things in life.
Yeah. So then kind of like I was just going through is like gratitude is kind of just what I kind of base my life on. So like that's just like one of the, I guess, tenets or principles that I have is that just be grateful for what you have. And it's not to say that you shouldn't want more, as in, like, say if someone was not making a lot of money and was like, well, at least I have a roof over my head. At least I have, food or a place to be fed and stuff like that. And not strive for more, as in, yes, you have all those things, but you could also have more, or you could also offer more, as in, yes, you have a roof over your head, but who doesn't have a roof over their head that could have a roof over their head because of you, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean like you have to house people that don't have roofs over their head, but say if you build a business, right, that business makes money, you hire employees, those employees are making money because of what you did, right? That is like another way to look at growing something and growing something for other people as well.
Yeah. No, I try to be thankful. I don't say that I recognize all the little things, but I do try to be thankful for a lot of the large things. I basically I focus more on not so much having a roof over my head, and that's the thing. I think that's the small things, right? I have food to put on my table, all that good stuff, right? I just think about like just the appreciation, right? Just appreciation of the fact that I can keep gaining my health, right? Like, continue to work out, continue to try my best to eat healthy. I don't always do a great job at it.
That's in the office, man.
Not just snacks, man. But like, if you stop by the store, you're like, you know what? I haven't had that in a while. Let's try that. I think
He's like, good, dude. Look at me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, when it comes to just having just appreciation for, like I said, for the things that I do have to make a better way for it. Well, let's see. I was trying to think, because I know I wrote down some things that I think I appreciate. Yeah, I think for me, like, it was really all my gratitude, all my things that I do have. It's like having a family, right? So just knowing that when I work hard, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for my family, right?
Yeah.
So, and I try to let my wife and kids know that when I put in that extra time and work, it's not for me. Yes, it helps me also, but if it was left up to me, then I could live in the smallest apartment. I could, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could drive the ugliest car. The most unsafe car. It doesn't matter. It's me, right? So like, but when you start doing it for someone else, I feel like things start to, open up. The doors start to open up a little bit more. Because then, it's not a selfish thought put into it. If I know I need to, give my family a better standard of life, or, I'm trying to quality of life. That's the word. Yeah. A better quality of life. Right. And then understanding that, and that's why I say I appreciate them. I show them that, hey, this is why I do this. I do this for you guys. If I work long hours, yes, I got it. I just like doing a great job at what I'm put there to do. Right. But in the end, it's for them. So like, and I'll try to make sure I show appreciation and we'll tell them that, that the things I have, I would not have anything if it wasn't for them. And so like, I guess those are my ways of showing that I have, gratitude. But I guess I do need to add that more into my life, right? Try to find other small things to be thankful for, just to feel happy, right?
Yeah.
Understand that life is more than just going to work and buying assets or whatever whatever we think we're set out to do, right?
I think having that sense of us versus I, right?
Yeah.
As in, like, I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for the family. I'm doing it for us. I'm doing it for them. Whatever it is, like you said, you can't expand certain possibilities or opportunities where you kind of figure things out better because there's someone else that's on the line.
Yeah. So that's kind of like me, man. I really, again, the things that I try to do is just show gratitude for, like, before I can make the next step, understand what I have now. If I don't understand what I have now, then what is the next thing is going to do, right? Just like how, I guess we talk about when it comes to, if you're terrible at budgeting or understanding your money before you become a millionaire, all you're going to be is just a millionaire with millionaire problems, instead of, like, understanding that the things you can do with the money, right? The things that help you grow. It doesn't matter how much money you make, you're just going to have more problems with it.
Yeah.
So, like, and I guess that's kind of like my way of, like, okay, let me, understand why am I doing this? And you show gratitude to the things that you already have.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I like your next one too, is slowing down. Because I had a thought on this one, right? And in our fast-paced world, it can be easy to rush through life without taking the time to savor the little things, right?
Yeah.
So one, it always brings me to mind of the thing we like to do. So we go to Broken Bow, Oklahoma, where we rent a cabin and we hang out as family. We have different families in these cabins, and we all we cook, we play games, do karaoke, watch movies. It's kind of, we do all these things together, and the one beauty is, like, you get reception. It's just not the greatest reception. So, like, if you need to make a call, you just make sure it's an important call, like calling other family members, right? Like, but when it comes to work is no longer, you know what I'm saying? That's like a long way from my mind when I'm there, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I like doing that. And we're going to try to do it again this year, hopefully. But because it's a way to slow down. You can actually sit back and actually think about your goals.
Mm-hmm.
Then you understand what your true goals is when you're actually in the company of good people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So especially you said, like, you're disconnected, right?
Yeah.
You're disconnected from, and I think that's what kind of contributes to the fast-paced portion of life, is that we're all interconnected. As in, I could message someone that I haven't seen for like 10 years. And you could catch up and you could talk about all these things, or, everyone could have an emergency all at once for whatever, or what seems to be a perception of emergency, as in, someone's going through something, someone isn't getting things right, something at work is happening, whatever it is, right? Yeah. So all those can, like, really calm down into that fast pace, because you're so accessible all the time. If you make yourself inaccessible, like you said, going to a place where there's not a lot of perception, it can slow down basically everything, or it feels like everything's slowing down, because you're not always needed. You're not always being communicated to or with. Yeah, I think, if you're very intentional with that, like, there was a time where I wouldn't even take my phone into my room.
Yeah.
And it was just something I heard from Mel Robbins, and I think she's like Tony Robbins' wife or something like that. But she had, like, a lot of good business advice and, like, personal advice. And one of the things I think was that TED Talk that she said was that she doesn't bring her phone into the room. The reason why was because you get so glued to it, you focus on it so much. Even if you're doing something like reading, something that's constructive, even if you're reading, all that light in your eyes can be detrimental. The technology being around you can be detrimental. That always urge to have it next to you can be, like, kind of like bad for your health.
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would keep it in the like living room area, and I would just keep it over there. That worked for, like, I think 3 or 6 months. But then when I got roommates and stuff, I felt uncomfortable just keeping it out there. I mean, I don't think they would ever touch it because it's a crappy phone, anyways. But yeah, because I also noticed that I felt like when I did that, I also wasn't always on alert as often. Like, I didn't have a need to go get something, so I was kind of just, like, lazy, or not necessarily lazy. I just I didn't feel that high sense of urgency when I didn't have my phone on, because I didn't have those notifications of someone sending me or whatever it is. But I mean, I could probably do it now, and I might end up going back to do it, just to, like you said, slow down some and just keep a journal next to my bed and just write down things that I need to look up at some point or think about.
Yeah, and I have done that before, about just leaving it in the living room, but that's just because I was too lazy to go back and get it.
Yeah.
But the other thing I do is if you keep it in the same room, just keep it away from the bed. So like, like I try to keep it as far away. So like, I'll have it charge like, so we got this little nook area. So I'll have it charge in that area. And in the bedroom, like I'll just, try to keep all electronic devices away, even though like I keep a laptop near, but you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Cause sometimes, I have a little small lab that I like to work on, to keep doing IT things, build a new skill, whatever. Right. And yeah, so what I would do is just have my laptops near, but I kind of just put them down. When it's time for me to actually go to sleep, I'll put it down and call it a day, right? And then same with my phone, like I'll set the alarm, but I'll put it away. Put it in that just far away from the bed as possible. So if I hear a buzz, I won't hear it because it's on carpet. So right, yeah. So that's another way. You just turn it, face down. Turn it face down, plug it into the charger. Yep, go get into bed.
Yeah. No, I feel actually like for my phone, they actually have a feature for that, and that if you turn it face down, it goes to automatically like do not disturb mode.
Oh, okay.
I think it's like the thing's called like flipping shush or flipping silent, something like that.
Yeah.
But it's weird because like I typically do that, and I don't always want that, so definitely turn that off because I was like, say if someone actually like calls, like I wouldn't receive it because it's in do not disturb mode, and I typically put my phone down that way anyway. So yeah, it's a weird feature.
Yeah. But so I guess that's a good way for slowing down. And again, just getting away. I mean, cruises is a good way. I know we talked about it before, where I went on this cruise and reception, you are not getting in the ad, right? So that's a good way to slow down.
Yeah.
So pretty much in my world, traveling is a good way to slow down, just to get away from everything and just leave work completely behind.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say like now for work, so we use an application called Slack, and if people that don't know what Slack is, it's just a big messaging.
Yeah.
Almost like an internal like social media type thing. But I used to have it on my phone, and now I don't have it on my phone. I have this out for my company's one because they locked it down. So like when I went on the trip and stuff last year, it was hard for me to get access to it. So it was hard it felt good. Like it felt like good not having to worry about like if someone's hitting me up or someone's trying to communicate something to me. And granted, it was just like for a few days, but yeah, it was relaxing. It was more relieving, I should say.
So it was kind of creating some type of anxiety for you, right? Like with having it. Yeah.
Well, having it, I will say, or not having it can create some sort of anxiety. So for example, like when I go to site and stuff, I don't have always access to it. So I do have like that anxiety that someone it needs me, right? Or they don't need me, and like it's other embellishments or hyperboles. But if someone needs me or needs something that I can provide, then yeah, I have that anxiety. And I think it's just like my personality. I'm a high supportive person, so I just want to be of help or of service to someone. So when there's like something as easy as communication that like really feeds into my personality, as in if someone's coming to me, hey, I need help with this, and this, and it's something I have a quick answer for, then like it just feeds my personality. So when I don't have access to that, or I know when I feel like I need access to that, it causes anxiety. But when I'm like on vacation, or if it's on the weekend and I don't have access to it, then I don't feel as high anxiety about it. But
yeah, so like I said, we're going to get down to our next point here. Taking notice of details. All right. When you take notice of details of your environment, you can start to appreciate the little things that you might have otherwise overlooked. So I don't know if you ever, when you go for a run, do you ever look around?
Not like run, bro. Running sucks.
Well,
reading. Nope.
Well, I go for runs and I walk the dog, and what I like to do is just kind of enjoy nature a little bit. So especially if you go to a park, right? Because we have quite a few parks around here that have good trails on it, and you just enjoy the environment that you're in. And then what I've learned it was a documentary I was watching. It was about time, and it was saying when you go to nature, like your time starts to slow down. You start to lose track of time and what's going on, which is, to me, is a good thing. That means that your mind is elsewhere. It's not thinking about your problems. You're not thinking about what you need to go do. And then, so like I like to go for walks or runs and kind of just look around, kind of breathe the air, which you gotta breathe anyway, especially if you're running. You take good deep breaths, but those things help me relieve stress. So then that's to me, I know this is talking about that your life is not better. That no life is better than the one that you have, right? But these are ways that you can appreciate the life that you have by just enjoying the simple moments, the things like that are already around you. Think about work, as we say in the military, working out is for free, right? Like it's free. So you just get out there, do something, relieve the stress. Think about the things that are enjoyable in your life, and don't think about the things that other people have. And if I think back to the times where I didn't I didn't have a lot, right? Like, so I think about the times like when you start your life out, you don't normally have a lot unless someone has already put something in play for you, to help you along your path. But if you when I had an empty apartment, right? So like I what I would do is always think about the things that I did have, right? And that's kind of like where the gratitude came from, because I think I might have mentioned before in the podcast, like I had this apartment, we barely had furniture in it. Wasn't the best looking kitchen, everything, right? I used to go and just clean, enjoy the things I have. I didn't have any money, at least I'll have a clean apartment, so it's just like you just kind of appreciate the things you do have until you can get to where you need to go. Because I never stopped having goals. I never, you know what I'm saying? So I always tried to put something in front of me to say, hey, well, you'll be here one day, right? You'll be there one day. And then, you get to that point where you've actually hit that goal that you talked about. But then in reality, you're still going to want some more, right? Because you're going to build a new goal off of that goal that you actually accomplished.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I kind of look at the environment, right? I go for walks and stuff like that. And you just think about, how far have you came so far? Like, what did you use to get this far? How can you improve on making this a stronger way to accomplish your goals, right?
Yeah. No, I definitely agree with like the attention to detail type stuff or taking the time to so I don't run. Like you do.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, if I go on a walk or if we're like out and about, like just you see like we're walking downtown or whatever it is, I'm still like a hyper observant person. Like I'll look around, I'll see, what are people doing? What's going around or what's going on around me? That type of stuff. Or like say if I'm traveling now, I'm even in like an airport, like I'll look around and see like how people are dealing with all this airport crap, like how fast people are going. How some people seem very chill, very relaxed, stuff like that. I'm always trying to like be observant of others.
Yeah. No, that's, it sounds like you're just being present in the moment, right? With that one. Yeah.
Well, I've always been like a person, like I've never been one to take pictures or like videos of certain things. I've always wanted to enjoy the moments and stuff that we've had. So like if I'm at a birthday party or celebrating a birthday, if we're doing like a big celebration, like when Adrian graduated, like I'm not on my phone. Like I want to be present. I want to enjoy the experience. I don't want to just take pictures or take a picture because we're in that experience, just so I can show it to someone that I don't even care about.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I know I skipped one of our points here, but like, that's that being present with others. That's the thing what we do at Broken Bow. That's kind of one of those things, right? You're enjoying the company that you have. Like we have all these families together, and we're just enjoying all the company. Because honestly, it's fun to me, and just getting out there, and they have so many trees, and you're just breathing it all in, and it just seems like everything, all your problems are so far away. You can come back to the problems later. It's kind of like, so just being present with those the people that you enjoy, you love, that to me actually can show you that you have a life better than a lot of people, because you don't know that successful person, right? What is their relationship with the other people that they have in their life? Do they disconnect completely from these people so they can get hard focused in their goals, or do they really enjoy all the people? Because like everyone that's helped them along the way to help them get to where they need to go. Because I don't think that, not every successful person does that, right? Sometimes we're so hard driven that we just forget all of those things. We don't call our parents. I'm terrible at that. I don't call my sister on a regular, things like that. And it's not that I don't want to talk to them. It's just sometimes like I let everything else get in the way. But I try my best to reel myself back in, talk to them, regardless if the conversation that we have might, might not be the one I want to have, but just having that connection with family or have connection with friends and just being present in the moment, just to understand why are we here, right? And actually, you can some documentaries talk about that being present with others, having good friendships, having good family, all these different things. You actually have a longer life, right? It's and I wonder if it's just the stress relief. It's just the stress relief of being around people, sipping wine and talking, just making time for that. All those things that actually help, make you realize that you do have a good life, and it's not about looking at what someone else has. Because when I think about it, right, even when I had nothing, I had a lot of friends, and we used to go out and drink, and we used to go have fun and all this other stuff. And then once you start to grow up, and then your goals and things start to shift, and then you realize that you have friends, but you definitely don't spend the same amount of time with friends. Yeah, I don't know if that's if you noticed that like.
So when I was like struggling, so I didn't have a lot of friends. Like I had like 2 friends, and it's definitely for me. It has grown more now, as in I've met a lot more people that have a similar outlook, to life than I do. So yeah, I think mine was the opposite, where I had very little friends, and then when I started becoming more of myself, becoming I guess to me a better version of myself is when I started attracting more people that I think have similar interests and stuff that I do.
Yeah. I mean, because, internet probably helps out with that too. And then it helps you build that confidence to realize that there are other people out there like us that, it's hard to get people to talk about finances or goals or any of these things because they feel like it takes them away from like the pleasures of life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Anyone ever wants to talk to me, I was like, so for example, right now, March Madness.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to talk about college basketball. I haven't watched college basketball in a long time. I mean, I can keep up with some of them. Like I know how basketball works. I know who's the top leaders, but other than that, I could really care less about it.
No, I mean, and I wish I had more time and that's the thing. I say more time, but you can make time for anything. I just don't have a way to stream it because I don't pay for it. Because I tried out. I don't know if you tried YouTube TV, but I tried that and then had galore of sports, and I was like, all right, this would be cool if I knew I was going to have time to sit down and watch, basketball.
I just look at the scores of like, say if someone's playing today, I'll just look at the scores and see how they're doing. So like, I can't remember when NBA ends, but I think it was like last year. I was looking at Luka Doncic from Mavericks. He's a great player, and I was just looking at I think it was him versus Golden State, or not him, of course, but the Mavericks versus Golden State, and that was a great game. But like I didn't watch it. I just saw the
highlights,
the highlights, or this. Not even that. I just saw the stats as they were going on. I knew the game was active, and just seeing like how Luka was doing and how Steph was doing on the opposite side, because I think they're both like incredibly great players. Now I don't, like I said, I don't really watch the game as often, but I just I like people that are really good at what they do, so I don't mind following them. I could care less about the game as a whole. But I still follow people like Shaq. Shaq is a great person to listen to because I think he has like a lot of good advice, especially making it big, making a lot of money, wasting a lot of money, building an empire out of it. Taking care of his parents. And I don't know if you know this, but Shaq is kind of like how Rick Ross is, where he owns a lot of brands. Or owns like a decent amount of stake in certain like brands, or we were kind of talking about how like a lot of producers they own like the music. And actually, I think he owns a couple of the ones that were sold. So I think Shaq was a good guy to listen to.
Yeah, no, and that's definitely and that's the thing. That's a sign of a goal I would like to accomplish, right? But then I'm not looking at his life, right? So that's a good way to look at that, right? Like I know his life is totally different than mine. And his path was totally different than mine. But just hearing one of his ideas, and I'm like, okay, or you telling me about one of the things that he does, it makes me go like, okay, well then, maybe I can see if that's a goal for me, because I really want to get into that owning a brand or owning a piece of a brand, or just what we were talking about once before, like business acquisitions, where you purchase an already thriving business and you make it better, or even a business that's probably evaluated low, and then you know how to make it better. Like, but all these are like, goals, but they're further down the line goals. Never know, they could pop up sooner. But as I grow mentally to understand how these things work, then that's a way that I can put that in my life, right? And again, I'm not looking at, someone who's already established themselves lives. I'm looking at that as like an example of like, okay, you could do this. You don't know you're going to do it, but you could do this because you may even do better, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like how, I guess, in a sense, how I kind of look at things. I guess the next point is creating opportunities for joy. So what do you do to help create joy in your life?
So I will say I don't really focus. Like I've never really had like a focus on like happiness.
Yeah.
But, I think I did at some point. Like, but then there's just been so many times where like, who cares? Like how important really is happiness?
Yeah.
But like joy wise, like I enjoy a lot of things. Like I enjoy like working is enjoyment for me. Like I said, I'm a high supportive person. So if there's any opportunity for me to help someone, that always provides like the biggest joy to me. Working out, I always enjoy working out. Like I've never gone to work out and been like, oh man, I hate this. Like especially when like I have a workout partner. Like when I went out to work out with my buddy during like President's Day, I enjoyed that a lot. I think sitting down for a good meal is like very enjoyable for me. Not like just going out just to go out, but like going out to have like, let's say, a date night or just like a good meal with a friend, and just enjoying like the restaurant and stuff like that. I think those are the things that kind of bring me joy.
Yeah. So basically for this one, I like working on cars, right? So that's usually I find some type of project like that, and I think that's because I was looking at an article online. I think it's Forbes. It was talking about finding gratitude and challenges, and I think that's probably where mine come in, where I create this joy, from opportunities, right, or creating opportunities for joy. When I work on a car, so say I work on a BMW. Usually BMWs are a little complicated because, like, especially if you look at an older one, sometimes like the error messages throw you off. You don't know exactly what's wrong. Or I remember one car I was working on, like none of the dashboard lights work. And then on top of that, I couldn't get in the car through the OBD2 connector to try to see what's wrong with it. Right. And I kept Googling, trying to figure out something. And eventually it ended up being something so simple. It just, no one would have thought of it, wouldn't have figured it out. Right. And it was like, if you go through and disconnect all the modules, you'll find out which one is the bad module because everything would start to come on. And that's exactly what happened. It was to me, it was like I was kind of ticked about it because it was a module that it helps with safety, but it's not that important. You know what I'm saying? Like it was the tire pressure sensor module.
Yeah.
As soon as I disconnected it, all the lights came back on, and then the thing, you can order used ones like for $30. I ordered the used one, connected it in. Yep, everything worked fine. I'm like, but the thing is, it actually helps you too, especially with our job, right? We have a lot of challenges. A lot of troubleshooting, and if you sit there and get defeated by the first wall that you hit, then you're, what I'm saying, you're not gonna be great at your job.
Yeah.
But like by me creating these challenges outside of work, I think kind of helped me with that, because I tell you, my biggest hobby is that cars and figuring out what's wrong with it and fixing it. And then sometimes it's just relaxing and go out there and throw some music on and start like changing the brakes, something, right? Changing the oil gets a little messy, but like, it depends on how you do it.
Yeah.
But usually it's those projects. I've had a project where it was a Mini Cooper. I talked to people about this project before, and that was a challenge, and it's because everything is all compressed inside the car, and you have to remove a lot of stuff to get to something that you want to actually fix. But having those type of challenges, though, to me, it brings me joy. Yeah. And maybe because at the end of the day, I'm so damn tired to do anything else that I don't have, I don't worry about anything. My problems all go away because I'm too tired.
No.
Yeah. So, I don't know if like I said, I know you said you don't do a lot of those type of projects outside of work, but I mean, even us doing this, the podcast, right? It's something that we're creating. That brings us joy. And it the people that do listen, it can help them out. So, yeah. All right, man. I guess that brings us down to our frugal and cheese. Yeah. So this is one I was thinking about because I probably did this before. I don't know if you ever done the brown bag gamble, right? You
Do that every day.
Yeah, I've leftovers have been sitting in the fridge for 5 days or more. You're like, I think it's good. You know, nothing's growing on it. Let me say this, and maybe this is lunch. And yeah.
So, because like what I do is like I'll put it in the freezer. If I don't eat it like the next day, I'll try to put it in the freezer. So yeah, to make it last a little bit longer. But if it's something that can't be, then yeah, I might have to roll the dice. Dice on it.
Yeah. So no, I definitely used to do this a lot. I lived with my parents, and I still do that today. I tried not to do that only because you really don't know. You know, like you try to put good things in your body, right? And if it's already getting old, you don't want to have the runs. You know, there. So
if you're clogged up, you know, at least know there's a surefire way to get it out.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, eating a whole lunch. So I don't know. It can be frugal, but then I think that's just kind of you use that in a cheap mindset because I hate wasting food, right?
Yeah.
But then it's like a scarcity mindset where it's like, all right, I
can get more food.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but and then I think it's, you know, I don't know if you grew up like that, but then it was the same thing for me. It's like, don't, you know, eat all your food, but since I can't eat all my food, I just go back later. Yeah. Right. So
it's a Southern thing, man. Like a Southern thing is like to eat all the food that you were given. Right? Yeah. You know, it may have been too much. Like just eat what you were given. And like that's to like appease the person that made the food and stuff like that. So
yeah.
No, I definitely came from that type of background. But I don't know, man. For a little cheap, I mean, I guess like so, like the opposite of scarcity is abundance. You mean an abundance of food, so you.
Yeah, I guess, and that is a good thing too. So, say if you made a bunch of spaghetti, and to me, spaghetti if you keep it cold enough, it stays for a good little while. So, yeah. So that could be another thing, and maybe I should try freezing it instead of like leaving it in the fridge.
Yeah.
Hope it's still good.
I don't know how spaghetti work.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Think about it, they have microwavable dinners, frozen spaghetti.
That is true.
Yeah, some
different types of pasta and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The thing is, they can vacuum seal it. Can you vacuum seal here?
No, man. You got lighting on, man.
Frosted bite. It's all like all frozen.
Yeah.
Thing. That just causes steam, and when you
exactly. Look at that. See, look at that. Look at that. There's our product right there. We can sell old spaghetti.
That's what to-go meals.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah. So thank you everyone for listening. This is Craig and Jay signing off the Troubleshooting Life podcast. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
You didn't want to say goodbye.